guys, welcome everybody to Chemical Vision episode 14. This one is the Storm Surge, the remote 4th of July episode. Happy birthday, America? Question mark. Okay.
That's right, dude.
Hey,
What's up?
we only say it that way because there's that debate when everybody says it's not really America's birthday, it's really our independence. But
Oh, you weren't saying that because of the insanity that's happening in America right now.
well, no, I try to live my own dimension away from all that. We're in fantasy
bro,
land, but
yeah. No, take the politics out. It's still wild living here right now.
Right.
If you're outside of America and you're tuning in, yeah, we're all just strapped in.
Yeah.
Similarly to this weather that's happening tonight, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah,
I'm into it.
We're recording there. Well, anyway, for everybody, this is episode number 14. You know me, I'm Johnny Chase, your interdimensional guitar wizard. I'm here remotely with
Tyler, what's up, kids?
all right.
If you hear that crackling, it might be fireworks, it might be thunder, it might be thunderworks. You know, that's kind of that's kind of what we got going for tonight.
Making noise, controlled chaos, sonic fireworks, if you will. We got a killer episode tonight. We'll be talking about the upcoming Signal Equilibrium and some Wild Tech and Tex-Mex, answering some fan questions in the Signal feed, and diving deep into some personal inspiration. You like how I'm trying to add some more better vocab into our stuff now? You like that now?
I like you. I like the vocab. I was gonna say I am excited to announce a new thing too, but I am also excited, backing up into what you just said. Johnny had sent over today to Nate and I the latest mix of Equilibrium, and it is sounding killer.
Yeah.
Like it's I think it's shaped up to what will, at least I don't know, at least on my end. I sat there for a while trying to think of any punch ups. I haven't actually said this to Johnny yet, but I'm like, man, this is already gold in my opinion. It's just ready.
Yeah.
It's ready just for the match to be thrown at the little
Just one match.
I don't know why I'm going Mission Impossible.
I know.
That's
I mean,
what I feel
dude,
like. It's just,
what's funny is this song is one of the best, one of my favorites so far. But we'll get into that as as we get into it. But all right, so let's open this up then.
We got a little surprise because we got a new segment.
That's right. We're
doing a new thing. It's called Rogue Transmission. It's where we're gonna take a quick minute to talk about our hot take. I take a hot minute to talk about what we're vibing with as far as music or a film or really just anything. I think probably mainly pop culture ish. What's cool and upcoming right now. That's cool. That isn't just a repeat, because everything's just getting regurgitated, and we all do it to some degree. But what's got how are the people making new and cool creative things without I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Hell yeah.
It's cool.
No,
it'll be cool.
I'm excited for that. I'm always down with the new segment. But here we got for segment 1, we got Tex-Mex. All right, we'll kick it off. This is for anybody who's the first-time listener. This is typically where now is turned into more of a gear talk, right? And everything bleeding edge in the world of sound. But originally, this is where the Mechs would rate their favorite 21st century technology. The Mechs are the synthetic beings we have from the future that are here helping us, that are in the band playing. If you've seen us live, you've seen them with us. So I guess, Tyler, what's new in your rig this week?
Well, I was so glad to hear that it still got its prominent in the mix, because sometimes, I don't get all the creative choices or whatever, but I remember sitting, because I've been playing with this new little thread of effects, and it's got a wild, granular, synthy, gritty, gross kind of vocoder-ish. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, if I was a robot, that's how I would sing, is what it sounds like to me. So and I like it, and it's on the Equilibrium bridge. It's just very I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it should be in the movie Tron or something like that.
I love it. To me, it's like a futuristic club like banger. It's just really really cool. Got like an R&B vibe as well. Probably one
Yeah,
of
it's
my
kind of,
favorite things
yeah.
we've done on a bridge
S-
yet. So
a sexy Star Wars scene, if there would be such a
okay,
thing.
yeah. I can feel that. I can feel it like
Yeah,
sexy Star Wars club scene for sure.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. I like it, and yeah, just yeah, that kind of ambient, robotic-y. It's awesome. I like it. So thanks for. I haven't talked to Johnny since I heard the mix. So thanks for leaving that in there as heavy as it was thought in the beginning. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it made the chopping block. I guess I should say. I was happy to hear it's a
absolutely.
pretty wild and maybe a little bit
Well,
different
I
sounding.
think it definitely made that part. If anything, you know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah, well, yeah,
it
make it a
needed to
little
stay.
different, I guess. Otherwise it's just gonna be me going dum ba dum ba dum bum bum bum. Which is
Which
fine.
was also awesome. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad that
yeah.
we had a good layer in there for new mix. Uh, I'm gonna take a couple more listens, but hopefully we're there. But speaking of actually with mixing, far as what I've been messing with, I don't know if any other producers out there ever mess with plugins. This one's called Vocaline, but this
Oh
time
yeah.
around I actually used it on guitars as well. I can kind of see a couple guys mess around with this. Gave me an idea of if I could, and it actually, I don't know. What do you think, Tyler? How do you think it turned out? Do you think it sounded all right?
Everything sounds tight, 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 dude. So
Yeah, definitely. This is as far as vocals too. I threw even though I'll let everybody know Tyler does a lot of the initial editing and on the vocals here. I just do really more of the mixing on the back end with that stuff. But I did
and
run,
effects.
yeah, I did
He
run.
does all the yeah,
Well,
almost always. That's why I was making such a big deal out about for
oh
the
yeah,
listeners
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm like, oh my little effects part stayed in. It was probably because Johnny didn't want to have to try to replicate that because
Well,
it's so weird.
that's just a really awesome part. There was no way I had to let that go. But also on this one, basically ran out the vocals to vocal line as well, which
Yeah, it's
everything's
so
tight,
hard to tell
right?
which one's me and Nate. There's so many layers of me and
Which
Nate in there, and I'm just like, oh, it's just a wall
excuse
of
me.
us.
It's just I
Yeah,
really liked it this time around because it's able because like let's say if I want to like you're really the main voice. I would say for people that haven't heard Equilibrium yet, or maybe by the time this airs, it'll be coming out in about a week. Uh, you're kind of like a lot of the main voice in some areas here, so it's like there's like this fine line that I have to approach it at, especially with aligning everything to where it's more of a mixing situation rather than you guys not singing it exactly the same, if that makes sense.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And but you're saying vocal line has really helped with that,
Yeah,
like balancing the layers of
I mean,
45 different
it's a
singers.
computer is able to do it and analyze it so well and in a way I'm not able to do. Where it would
Sure.
probably take me infinitely longer, and it really does a great job. Where I'm like, oh, I really think I believe in the program. I stand behind it now because even when I think it sounds tight and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh wow, these train tunes match up. I'll run it through there, and then it just sounds even tighter. It's so noticeable every time we use it. We're like, oh yeah, oh
Nice.
okay,
I
yeah.
love. Well, that being said, I got a quick little bit on that too. That I bought a new plugin this week. That's called Curves AQ, and it's another thing. I'm not real super proficient with EQ. Not when there's 30 tracks, and it helps me a lot. I run it through there,
Mm-hmm.
and like you just said, this is how I look at it. The computer knows a lot better. It scans the track and listens to what's in there, and it's like, and it gives you different suggestions, and you can still move. You're like, oh, that's not enough bass for me, or that's too much mid, or whatever. You can still like manipulate it however you want. It just like gives you this initial curve, and then it cuts the bad shit out like it's supposed to. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like I don't, it. It's been a lifesaver for me lately as far as being able to like kind of streamline the work and not spend so much time on the stuff that doesn't really matter to me. I'd rather just get the idea down and the point across and like leave that for people that can hear those crazy things deeper than I can, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I get it sounding to where it sounds right to me, and then if it needs to go deeper on the editing, then that's for not me.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Well, yeah, um, damn, I love. Actually, funny enough, we're right on point, and we're right on point with our show notes here. But anyway, all right, let's get into segment 2. This will lead us right into behind the track. So this track is about balance. It's my favorite. It's such a driving jam. Like from the beginning, it's amazing. I wanted to ask you too before we got into this. I know we have it going later in the show notes. We're talking about it. Well, I guess what do you think about the vibe of this song?
Of Equilibrium.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dope, dude. It's very atmospheric, a little bit, you know, Mad Max-ish on the dystopian plains. I don't. That's a little too deep, but you know, I don't know. It's like it's kind of got this chill, like driving vibe, I guess. Like you're in the car, you know. It's a digga, and then like some synthy and sexiness.
100%.
I don't know. Man.
Let's definitely manifest next Mad Max trilogy something sequence. You know, they use Equilibrium that is in the opening sequence of the movie. That would be amazing.
No, I think that a lot of our music would be really good and soundtracky, and I think that as a songwriter, this project's not been the only project I've ever been on, obviously. So like a lot of what projects that I've always enjoyed being in were ones that were kind of had that it could really go to a movie, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah. I guess it's always kind of that driving. I don't know.
Then maybe that's what I'm.
It's a whirlwind, baby.
It's that cinematic vibe. But
it worked for Trent Reznor now, didn't it? It only took him 100 years, but now look at the man. He's killing it.
Yeah. But okay. So then I also want to jump into when we're talking about the song lyrically. What are we talking about on this song? What is this one about? Like, you know, what will they hear when this track drops?
Well, this one's kind of it's more about like kind of the unfairness of how things aren't really equal, if anything, or like it's kind of asking, you know, whoever you ask your questions to. If you ask your questions to God, if you ask your questions to the air, the universe, whatever, it's like the kind of the question being asked in this one is like, is this it? You know, or like where's the balance or the benefit after all of this hard work put in or whatever? So basically the equilibrium. Whereas when is it gonna when is it gonna show back up for me after I've tried so hard? You know,
I love it. So deeper.
I'm 24 years old. Dang it, I should be further along in life. You know.
That's right. Well, what I really like about it, like the double meaning behind the song, is that I love that the actual deeper meaning behind the song is like this question with God. It's almost this conversation that you're proposing almost to the universe, to the ether. That I really like that, and I do like also with a lot of our stuff. It also feels like it could be a double entendre.
It's always about a girl. Jeez,
right.
Come on, they're all about girls.
Right, but that's what I really liked. It's a really artistic way of doing it, but I really love the flow, you know, because that's something that's really important to me that I see intertwined here, which is awesome. But I love that. So anyway, guys, Equilibrium's gonna be dropping pretty much at the end of this month if everything goes well with what we're talking about. So maybe a week or two after this episode drops. So. If you're following us on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to, Amazon, hit that follow button now. Hit pre-save when this comes up in probably a week. And we even have a music video to follow. So hopefully you guys will be down for that.
That's right.
But all right, so that leads us into segment 3. You can't hear this, but I'm going to do...
That's right.
I'm doing one of these
in the signal
notes
feed,
things.
baby. The signal feed.
It's the funk one.
You got them? Okay, you've got them, I think, right? Because it says, let's pull them up. And I'm like, all right. Yeah, Johnny, pull them up.
So, excuse me. All right. So we got some fan questions. All right. Okay. This one comes from Luke. Okay. This is Luke.
Hey, Luke.
620. All right. This is from Instagram DMs. How do you guys deal with creative burnout? especially when inspiration just isn't there.
That's a great question. Are you
Well,
asking
this is
me,
one
or you
thing.
want to go first? How do you do it?
Brought to you by Baja Blast.
Oh, yes. Shout out Baja. Hey, man, I had the blue one the other day. A new blue one. It's pretty good.
That
Blueberry
one's alright.
lemonade or
It's
something.
just Baja is just light and crisp enough where you're like, okay,
It's so crisp.
yep, I will
That
be.
Santana champagne, it's so
That's
crisp.
right, Santana champagne. That's right. That's right. Well, we
It's
got
crispy.
my three favorite types of champagne are Texas champagne, which is Dr Pepper, Santana champagne, which is Baja Blast, and bubbly champagne.
And then,
Uh,
and then just, yeah.
Yeah, I had like no really fun way of saying it, so that's the only way I can do it.
All right, well, so none of that answers Luke's question, though.
Yeah, so anyway,
answer Luke here.
So
How do you deal with creative burnout? Or do you even have it?
yeah. I mean, well, yes and no. Never, maybe like I'm always creating something. I'll just change the medium typically if I'm getting burnt out in one medium. But
Yeah.
I'm writing songs every day. It's just like it's such a daily habit where it's just like if I'm burnt out, where it's like okay, I put in my 30 minutes. I really always tell myself I only need 30 minutes. It usually is always
Sure.
more than that. But I tell
Yeah,
myself
no, you get
30
sucked into
minutes a day,
something.
you know.
I think when I get as far when I can't be creative or I don't feel creative, I go then to like as very mundane things that the opposite of that. So like file management. So I have like I have folders and folders and folders of ideas or songs that haven't, or all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like, okay, if
Totally.
I can't create anything, I'm going to go open up and just do file management and organize and clean either maybe in my actual home and do my laundry or something like that. I think that if I struggle, then I go do like mundane things that really make my brain either sit in the mundane, which it doesn't like to do. So then that kind of forces it to start, maybe firing a few more cylinders because like doing laundry doesn't take very many, or whatever. So, but yeah, I don't know. Creative burnout sucks. But I don't really have burnout. I feel like it's more like if I try to sit down, sometimes if I like want to do it, I'm like, I'm going to go create now. And I sit down and I'm like, just kind of sitting there like,
Yeah.
okay. And then I'm like, all right, and create. And create. Sometimes I have that. But
You're right.
I don't know.
But-
I feel like not to disclose any ages, but as we like to do on this show, I think that I've just been doing it so long, my mind already kind of knows as I sit down. It's like, well, we're not writing gold today, but I can always fine tune some other gold that's coming up or polish the
sure.
last gold or whatever. There's always something that can be done that doesn't have to necessarily.
And don't you
feel
think
creative.
with some things like that, those times where it challenges you maybe opens up the way for the next best idea for maybe a new thing or
sure.
or a line that's been stuck in your head, that kind of
Yep.
stuff. So I kind
Yeah.
of find that's why I say it's just like anything. You got to make sure you go to the faucet all the time. If you want it to be on tap when you want it, you got to go to the faucet and turn it on every day, right?
Yeah, no, that's what your 30-minute comment is great.
Yeah.
Like I definitely sit down and do a little bit something musical, whether it's something that will never be recreated again, all the way to if it's a finalized track or thought or whatever. Like somewhere in that spectrum, there's a sit down and there's a moment every day with that, and then it's otherwise, yeah, you get too rusty.
Yeah.
We know that you don't practice for like you have a band practice and then you miss 1 week and you go back and you're like, oh, whoa, that's how this goes. It's
Right.
like, it's not that bad, but it's kind of yeah, you get practice only makes you better, so it's probably the best idea to just do it.
Yes, and I mean, and I guess here's another thing too. Another way out of something like that, if you're really finding writer's block or you really have no inspiration, I always call BS, right? But if that's really the case, you need to get out of the studio, get out of
Right.
the space, and get into nature for a little bit.
Go do something else.
Yeah, decompress. That's really my favorite thing. I'll take a hike. I'll take my bike to a local park around here. It's a really nice park, and I'll just park by there, and just kind of clear my mind for a little bit, come back.
Oh, yeah.
And
Man, we live 10, 15 minutes from the most beautiful beaches in America, arguably.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, no.
they
Well,
are
actually,
beautiful.
100%.
Whether they're
We
the
do
most
have.
beautiful, that's the
Yeah, we
arguable
do
point.
have
You
like
know.
top 5 in America here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, great question, Luke. It's really you
Yep.
should never have creative block. It's just divert the creativity to another thought. Is basically all that we would do.
Yeah. 100%. Well, yeah. And listen. I think anytime you have to fight through that, you're gonna get some gold. But all right, here we go. All right, so this is actually exciting. Here we go. Here is the new segment, Rogue Transmission. All right, y'all. Something that's hitting different this week for us. I'm gonna go first, and this is basically something that's like maybe what people wouldn't expect, but still within the CV realm and aesthetic. Hans Zimmer, Claude Debussy, yeah, right? This French composer really liked that cinematic stuff. That's always gripped me, and the Blade Runner director's cut. Again, the visuals, the music, the whole emotional arc. Also, Independence Day, because it is July 4th. That movie in itself,
dude, yeah.
from the 90s.
Yeah, we got that queued for after recording. We're all gonna go and grill some hot dogs and watch some Independence Day and be super American.
That's right.
That's how we roll.
America,
America, fuck yeah.
That's right. But yeah, so that's a classic. That stuff is really the stuff. The kind of movie reminded me of like the cinematic stuff and even the soundtrack behind a lot of stuff. Even the Blade Runner stuff, just because it reminded me of this kind of synthy, kind of landscapey stuff. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure, and that shows in our music because you definitely capture that. Because again, that goes to what we were just saying a minute ago is that being our music having a little bit, if not more. Now that we're talking about it, it'll probably have more of that cinematic.
Yeah. Well,
vibe. I keep forgetting that I'm talking to you over here. I'm looking at this and
right.
forgetting. But yeah, cinematic.
And think about stuff like Typo Negative and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
For sure.
That was all the stuff that kind of gave birth to kind of what we're doing here. But
bro, mine's a little bit older, but I'm obsessed, and it's been my favorite movie since I was a kid. Legit, I saw it like 15 times in the theater.
Yeah.
And it's Fifth Element. Luc Besson does all the music in those, and I don't know if you've seen that movie, Johnny, or if anybody listening. But it's like wild, crazy. Talk about like feeling in the moment, and it's a little less cinematic in the sense of like being like this atmospheric. It's less atmospheric, but more like in the moment, and like the bum ba dum ba da ba da bum, like Peter and the Wolf style, where there's like almost like a tone for that guy and a tone for that guy or whatever. And I don't know, Luc Besson, French director and composer, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure he does the music as well. Don't quote me. Don't come at me, internet. I don't. I'm pretty sure though he does the
music. That's sick.
I'm just a bit obsessed.
I'll have to check that out. Because that does bring up some good memories with that movie.
It's just so good, dude. And if you watch it again and if you never really paid attention to the music while watching it, then do. And then I became obsessed back in those days when I was just a wee child when that movie came out. But he has quite a few movies, Luc Besson does, and they're all very similar in that sense, where like the music, obviously he has a style or whatever.
Right.
I also really like that movie Baby Driver. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
And
good soundtrack with that one.
With the music soundtracking up and him always having it in his ear. And
right.
That was really creative and done in like a kind of a fun way where it's a bunch of songs that we all know, James Brown or whatever, and it's like.
I mean, if we're talking stuff like that, Guardians of the Galaxy, then come on, great,
dope,
amazing soundtrack. So but awesome. So then, I like this then. So
I know I kind of diverted off of the.
No, that was good then. So Rogue Transmission, then not bad segment. You guys let us know if you want us to keep this. If you want to come back, comment below, let us know. But anyway. All right, Tyler. Why
Yeah.
why don't you start taking us out here?
We should close this up before the storm knocks out the power. You know what I mean? Is it? Can you guys see the lightning? It's lightning like crazy still.
That actually is
But no,
such. That was actually really
hopefully-
good on my end.
I
For a
hope it
second, I was
cleans up a
almost
little
like,
bit.
"Watch out!"
Yeah. I'm gonna try to, hope, and I'm gonna hope that it clears up a bit so we can get these hot dogs. But yes, guys, we appreciate you listening and hanging out and riding with us because Equilibrium's coming, and it's. I mean, hopefully you like it as much as we do because we all have song boners for it.
I mean, mark
so.
my words. I think this is going to be the track that's going to change everything for us, and that's
Hopefully.
that's big things that I'm putting out there. But that's what I believe. Anyway,
Johnny and I want to go digging for shark teeth and not have to pay for it. You
damn
know?
straight. That's part.
To be able to afford
That's part.
it.
That's part of the. That's part of the
Live
plan.
that life.
Well, we're doing this all for the vision, chemical vision, and if you're digging today's episode, follow us, share it, hit us up with your thoughts, let us know what you think. 4th of July, storm or not, we're cooking up something special for the next live show,
That's right.
and also we're cooking up something special for you guys. Some updates coming soon, along with this new single. But anyway, guys, keep dreaming, keep the vision. I'm Johnny Chase.
I'm Tyler, guys. You be safe out there from the fireworks, from the storm, from Americans. Do what you got to do. Be safe.